Morning students. The last class we have completed the unit 2 and in this class we are going to see about module 3. And here what we are going to see is the designing of network topologies and then what are the topologies there and what are the advantages and disadvantages. Okay. Come, let me go into the class. Right. So you see, for framing the networks, we need some components. So what are the important components there in that network communication means we are having the 5 different components. One is message and sender devices and receiver devices, transmission mediums and protocol. So what is that message means? It's just a data or the raw bit information what we want to communicate. Okay, it may be the text messages or audio or video. And sender and receiver devices, which is nothing but the user and the receiver. That means suppose if I want to communicate with you, then I am the sender in this place and you are the receiver. Okay, the same way if you want to communicate with me, then you will be the sender and then I will be the receiver. So these are the devices which is used for transfer that information. Then transmission medium. So we are just going to transfer our input data to receiver side, right? So in which medium that data will get transferred. So that medium is called the transmission medium, and we are having the two different transmission medium. As we know that earlier, it is a connection and then connectionless, right? So it may be the wired medium or wireless medium. After that, protocol. So already we have discussed something about the protocol because we have seen IP version 4 and then IP version 6, right? So in all these protocols, we are having some set of rules how to transfer the packet and then how the packet should be looks like and then what are the algorithm we need to embed with the packet and then what are the protocols we need to use for some specific applications or the port services. So everything will be specified in this protocol only. That's why we are telling it is a set of rule. Then the data flow. Right, now we are able to transfer the data from one machine to another machine, but we don't know in which way these machines will be working. Okay, whether those machines can only receive the data or only send the data, or it can do both receive and send. Okay, so based on these different activities, we can say that these devices are simplex, half duplex and then full duplex. So what is a simplex means? If you are using the simplex data flow concepts, then either the machine can send the data or receive the data, so it won't do these two operations in the same time. Okay, and if you are using the half duplex, then what will happen? If the sender machine sending the data means the opposite machine that time it cannot do any activity. Okay, after receiving the data, it can send the data back to the sender. Okay, so here you see the half mode operations it can do. First it will receive, after that it will send, or first it will send, then it will receive. Okay, so in the both functions won't be there in the same time. Okay, so this kind of communications is called half duplex. Then full duplex. So what is a full duplex means? In this method, both devices can send and receive the informations in the same time. So for an example, you say you are talking with the mobile phones or the telephone, then you can talk and then same time you can receive also. Okay, the both can do this two operations at the same time. So this is called full duplex operations. And then type of connection, right? And we know that we can do some data flow concepts in the data transmissions, everything. Now in which way that devices can be connected? Okay, so here we are telling that either it is the point to point or multi point, sorry. So the point to point is the single machine communications. That means only the two devices can connected to do the transmissions. Okay, and if you are looking for the multi-point, then it is also known as that multi-drop, because in the multi-point each and every devices will be connected with a single line, so it will get dropped. That's why they are telling it is the multi-drop. Okay, So what will happen here with the base station or the main server, many clients machines can able to communicate. Okay, so here we are having only one server or one access point, but from that access point we are able to communicate with multiple systems. That's why we are telling this kind of communications or this kind of connection is called multi-point. And then topology. So topology is nothing but the connection methodology of that networks. Okay, or simply we can say that it is that network configuration techniques. Okay, and we are here we are having some more number of topologies, but according to our syllabus we are covering only few. Okay, here you see mesh topology, star topology, bus topology, ring topology, and then hybrid topology. So in this way we are having multiple topologies. So in each and every topologies, how the systems are arranged to do the communication. So this is the method we are telling it is topology. The first one is mesh topology. So you see here, each and every station is one device. Okay, it may be the computer or the node or server system, and you can see all the system having that other systems link to be connected, right? So here each and every system having that other system connectivity links. Okay, so what will happen here? If any links are getting failed, then it won't affect any other system communication, because already we are having multiple connections. Okay, so through other line communications it will do the data transmission. That's why the mesh topology is very we can say that it is very robust. Okay, because there will be no function failures. Okay, and the disadvantage of this mesh topology is the communications link, that means the connecting wires. Suppose if we are having the n number of devices, then we have to create a n minus 1 number of connectivity from these devices. Okay, so for the mesh topology it will take n into n minus 1 divided by 2. It is the communications link. This much wire we need to make a link in this n number of devices. Okay, so the connectivity wire will be the main problem in this mesh topology, because the cost is more high. And then if um, any node got failure, then the fault tolerance is okay, little bit easy only, but still that scalability is the problem here, because whenever we are increasing that system numbers, then what will happen for that new devices also we have to give the extra all the connectivity lines. Okay, so in this problem what we are facing is each and every system having that n minus 1 number of links, right? So that much IO ports we need to install in our system. So that also one of the problem in this mesh topology. The next one is star topology. So what is a star topology means? You see here in this diagram we are having one hub, and all the stations, that means all other systems are connected with this hub only. So that means that here the data transmissions and then communication happens through this hub only. Suppose if the station 1 want to communicate with the station 4, then what will happen here? The station 1 transfers the data to the hub, and from that hub only the station 4 will get that information, right? So everything is based on that hub devices only. Okay, and the drawback of this star topology is the hub gets down. That means if any problem happens to that hub, then whichever the system is connected to that particular hub, all those system performances will be getting down, because all these systems are connected with the hub only. So this is the main reason why we have to keep the hub should be always up. Okay, and the high speed LAN data link, because in our lab also we are able to see that our machines are connected to that one switch, right? So that switch is acting like a hub here, and then through that switch only we are doing the data transmissions. So this is one example for the star topology. And ring topology. So you see here, we can able to see one ring type of connectivity between these devices. So each and every station devices is connecting the two other opposite devices. Okay, so it by default, if the systems are making connectivity between these two devices, then it will create one loop kind of thing. So that loop is called a ring here. Okay, that's why we are telling this is the ring topology. And you see, if any fault occurs or any error occurs in this connectivity, it is easy to find. The drawback of this ring topology is what means, suppose if any communication link is broken or anything happened to that communication link, means all other devices will be suffer, because each and every devices will be communicating with other opposite devices, right? So if anything happened into that ring, then the connectivity between that no that two stations will be getting disconnected, so that it cannot easily communicate with other devices. Okay, the total network will be spoiled. So this is ring topology. Then bus topology. So this is, in the beginning years of the networking concept, they are using this kind of topology. What is happening here? They are using one backbone wire. So in this backbone wire, each and every devices will drop their communication link. So whatever we are communicating, that communication data will be passed through that backbone line only. Here the problem is the length of that cable. Okay, because whenever the length of the cable is increased, that time the data transmissions is get less throughput. That means some discrepancies will come there, because the lengthy cable cannot traverse the data to the end positions. Okay, so in that moment what they will do, simply they will use one repeater kind of devices to collect all the data, and then they will do transfer again. And one more problem is just like our ring topology. If any communications link or any break happen in between that two station, means the entire network will get suffer, because you see that backbone line is the only wire which connects all the stations, right? So if any links between the two stations get disconnected, then what will happen, automatically the data cannot be travel from one station to another station in between these broken links. Okay, so that moment uh, that entire network will be it gets disconnected, and then it will be in that spoil mode. That's it. So that's why telling this is one drawback of this bus topology. And the fault identification is easy in this method. Okay. And then a hybrid topology. So what is that hybrid topology means? Suppose if we are able to connect different network topologies in the single configuration, then we can say that it is a hybrid topology. Okay, so for example, you see this in this diagram, we are having one hub. So this hub type of connectivity is used in the star topology, but in that another topology they are using the bus topology. So you see, suppose I don't want to this bus topology here, and then I want only the mesh, means simply I can remove that bus topology, I can include that mesh topology here. Okay, so now that mesh topology links is connected with our hub also. So this is possible in this hybrid topology, because we can create more than two number of different topologies for making the data transfer here. Okay, so this kind of topology is called hybrid topology. And then categories of networks. So based on this, system connected to the system connectivities, and then topologies, and then places where it is getting connected, we can segregate the networks. Okay, so based on that segregations, we are having few networks categories. Here we are going to see only that four. One is LAN, WAN, MAN, PAN. That means local area network, wide area network, metropolitan area network, and then personal area network. So this much of networks we are having. The Details of these networks we will see in the next classes. So this is all about your today topic, and that explanation of all the networks we will see in the next classes. Thank you.